and as well as lot of preparatory requirements also there. That's why we took few slogas in the mind and sense control. So that slogas will be skipped because otherwise slightly we can share and skip. So like that it will be there. That is preparatory technique along with the symptoms of a person who has understood the truth. This both will be there. Along with that, profound knowledge is also taught in depth, and some complicated things also there to share. So we will start right away with the slogan number 16, 5th chapter 16. Both the windows get closed. Slogan number 16.
Yeah. Chapter 5, verse 16. Whereas for those whose ignorance of the self is destroyed by knowledge, the knowledge reveals the self as that Brahman, like the sun reveals objects previously covered in darkness. That's the translation.
Now, one doesn't know the real nature of oneself because of ignorance. So ignorance is a status. As in the perspective of self-knowledge. But when we take a transactional thing, if a person is shown, or if I am shown a thing which I have never, suppose I am having a thing, or if you are shown a thing which you have never seen before, then that ignorance of that thing is different. But here self is very obvious, but something is covering them. So that is different from the transactional things which we come across. So in that respect, the sunlight is given an example. Sunlight reveals the things. Similarly, this self also reveals not only the things external to the body, mind, sense complex through the senses, it keeps revealing itself, but the prominence of external things superpowers the self evidence of the self. This is the peculiar aspect with respect to self. This one, ignorance, which is hiding the self. So here, that is, when the sunlight comes, not only darkness goes away, whatever is there, we come to know. Two things happens. Darkness goes away, whatever things which are around, it comes to know. But self-ignorance is not like that. The self is already known, but when the self-knowledge comes, because of the removal of self-ignorance, the self-evident Atma is so clear. Now, because of that only, all the things are revealed. Pratibodha viditam madam. In every thought, the self is there before the thought, during the thought, after the thought. Thought means not only mental thought, sound, sight, other sense perceptions also. Before the perception, during the perception, after the perception. Whatever is there, that is only self, awareness, consciousness, Atman, with respect to the individual, and the same Atman is Brahman. So this is what revealed here. That is like that. Sun. One more thing with respect to sun, again, just share. Sun or any other light also. Sun we may not be able to see because of the brightness. So in place of sun you can have a bulb. If a bulb is there in the room and it is glowing, you need not have anything to spot the bulb because that is self-evident. Only eyesight is required and the intention to see it. We shared it in the Vedanta Simplified. So the intention and the eyesight. So here also same thing. Intention means intense desire. That is only intention to see the light, but here intense desire, the highest priority. And also eyesight means here it is Vedanta. How it is matching, you see. Eyesight is a primary instrument of knowledge. Same status if you give to Vedanta, Veda Vakyas. Just like when you are opening the eyes, if you have got eyesight, if you open the eyes and if you see a color, it is not your will. Your will is not coming. Unless or until there is a error in the eyesight, you will see red color as red color. Whatever, if you think, no, I am seeing green, I am seeing green, I am seeing green. That red color will not be appearing to you as green. That is without free will. Without your involvement, red color will be seen by the eyes, it will be detected. So, similarly, when ignorance is gone, that is, ignorance means the ajnana, the not knowingness about yourself, that Atma is revealed, though always it is revealing, not so prominently, but now when the self-ignorance is gone, in the pure mind, Atma will be so obvious. So this is a beautiful verse and easy to understand also because sun is given an example. That's why we have skipped some last minute 3 slokas, 8, 9 and 13. That is complicated. So we will cover from 16 to 26, then 8, 9, 13. Then we will end with 27, 28, 29. Same chapter, within this some small here and there adjustment. So 16th is over. Now we will go to the 17th sloka of 5th chapter.
Tadbuddhaya yatadāmanah tannishṭā tatparāyaṇāः gacchantya punarāvrittim jnāna-nirdhūta-kalmaṣāः. Chapter 5, verse 17. Those whose intellect is awake to that Brahman, for whom the self is that Brahman, who are committed only to that Brahman, for whom the ultimate end is that Brahman, which is already accomplished, whose impurities have been destroyed by knowledge, they attain a state from which there is no return. That's the translation.
Here 4 things are told starting. Tat buddhayaha, tadatmanaha, tannishtaha, tat parayana. So here first, these are all discussed when the mind has got sufficient purity. Then only all these things will be applicable and you can understand and enjoy. That is, intellect has to be made known. That is tat buddhiya. Intellect accepts. Intellect, cognitive acceptance. Tadatmanaha accepts that self-revealing Atma, accepts that self-revealing Atma. That is, self is known to the self. Now, all other things are known to the self through mind, then senses. The tadatmanaha. Then tannishta. Then when self abides in the self, nishta. Then tat parayana. That is the end of all goods. These four things are nicely told. Tad buddhaya, tad tadatmanaya, tad nishtaya, tad parayana. Intellect is made known, except cognitive, without doubt, logically. Then tadatmanaya. About what? About the Atma. Intellect knows, understands that one's identification is not body mind and it is your own self. Then Tanishta. Then when it abides in itself. Then Tatparayana, that is the end of all goal. That abiding in oneself is normally the person abides in the mind. That is why all kinds of insufficiency, lacking, missing, and avidya, kama, karma. Because of the ignorance, the person abides in the mind and thinks about worries, commitments, liabilities, then plannings. Then plannings means thinking that that person is body, mind, intellect, and trying to fulfill and everything. Because that is what generally. Or grosser people, they abide in the body. I am fat, I am lean, I am blind. Body senses. Body means okay, obvious and lean and means unimpressive feature, structure, that is body. Then senses, I am not able to, I am deaf, I am blind. Senses. Then otherwise, most of them abide in the mind. Insufficiency, I told you already. Worries and everything. Instead of all these things, once you understand and the Atma reveals itself, like a sunlight reveals something, and when you accept it, own up it, claim it, you can abide in the self. You can abide in yourself. You can abide in Atma. You can stay in your self. That is the beauty of this sloga. At that time, those who are done like that, they na punaram means they don't come back again in the world. So that if you don't think it's a big achievement, what will happen when you abide in yourself? You are full. You don't lack. This is gone, we can tell. Same thing will be repeated again. When you are abiding in yourself, you are the ultimate happiness, satisfaction, peace and security. Why security? Here only you have to always recollect you are of the higher reality. Nothing will touch you. So if you abide in yourself, absolutely you are untouched, untainted by anything in the creation or relation, possession, transaction, obligation, then your body, mind or senses. That is what abiding in self. First of all, you won't notice the problem. Then fullness. So more than that, nothing is required. The abiding in the self is the thing is the jnani enjoy. But transaction, just making use of the eyes, making use of the ear, making use of the legs and hands, and making use of the knowledge, making use of like that's a computer, hardware software combination. So here mechanism of the benefits and everything is there in the website. The performance increases because the senses interact with the sense objects without the interference of the notions, I notion. So that so this is sufficient. We will go to the next sloga. I think 18 is also there. 18 is also there.
ब्राह्मणे गविहस्तिनि शुरे चैव श्वपाके च पंडिताः समदर्शिनः.
Chapter 5, verse 18. Wise people are indeed those who see the same Brahman in a Brahmana, who is endowed with knowledge and humility, in a cow, in an elephant, in a dog, and even in a dog eater. That's the translation.
A peculiar examples are discussed here by Lord Krishna. Unless otherwise the meanings are deeply discussed, it will be very much confusing. And not only that, will not make out head and tail of the things. See, 4 entities or things are discussed here. That is a wise person, scholar, Brahmana means, again I told you, it is not caste wise. Not jati, not karma also, guna brahmana. That is scholar and also a noble person. Then elephant, cow, dog and dog eater. 5 things. A scholar, then an elephant, then cow, then a dog eater. So here what is the thing? Here it is, we have to understand. From the point of Atma, there is no difference between Atma of a dog eater and the Atma of a wise person. Because Atma is untouched, actually unconnected also. Because Atma is of higher reality, partless. So partless, no connection. Higher reality, no connection. But the peculiar relationship is that Atma is unconnected, untainted, unaffected, unrelated. But without Atma, nothing is possible. No transaction is possible. So dog eaters' habits and the wise person's, scholars' habits will be diagonally opposite. Because dog eater may behave, may not be noble. Dog will have its own programmed qualities. A dog, it will not think whether to bark or not. Instinct. If it wants to bark, it will bark. It's very difficult to keep the dog quiet when it barks. You cannot make it understand don't bark. And a cow will have its own programmed nature. And an elephant, it is given here, dog and elephant is a different way, Rajasic and Tamasic. It's discussed in home study. Elephant is discussed here for highlighting the slowness, slow movement. Though intelligent, slow movement, so Tamasic is slightly more predominant than Rajasic. In a wise person, Sattvic is more predominant. In dog, Rajasic. So that way it is, these examples are there, that is one way. Another way, how we have to treat these 5 different types of entities. A scholar, respectable, and then elephant. We may worship, but we may worship in a different way. We may worship elephant in a different way. We may worship cow in a different way. We may worship a scholar in a different way. Scholar you can prostrate, touch the legs. Cow, okay, we can worship without distance. Some people touch and touch the eyes also. But elephant, you may not be able to touch. And definitely you will not prostrate in front of a elephant very near. Because its habits, if it lifts its leg and keep it on the head, finish off. But a wise person will not do that. And cow also, nature of cow, if you know, it may not hit you. So that way your behavior will be different. This is based on common sense. But dog eater, dog and a scholar, how you have to treat? A scholar you will allow inside, ask him to sit in your own seat or this thing or in the puja room. Once you know he is a scholar. But a dog eater you may not do it, no problem. Transaction, you need not welcome the dog eater inside, allow him to sit in the puja room. These are all your common sense based thing. So that is the difference in the transaction. But from the point of taking them, the oneness means what? You should not develop hatred towards a dog eater. That is what is to be understood. You have to have oneness from the point of Atma. Because you are able to treat, you are able to behave, you are able to do worship, you are able to keep it away, all these things because of that Atma only. And the dog eater, elephant, they behave in a certain way, that is also because of Atma only. And the essential nature of everything is Atma. So that is the reason you should not hate a dog eater. And if a dog is hungry, give food. Dog eater is hungry, give food. And the food, different food you may give to a dog, and different food you may give to the cow and elephant. So all these things are common based transaction responses, but perspective understanding is based on knowledge, self-knowledge, Atma. That is mainly they don't hate others because the essential nature of you and them are same. That is the thing. The good idea is very nicely revealed from diagonally opposite things. Yeah. Now next is 19 also there. Then we will skip one slot.
इहैव तैर्हितः सर्गः येषां साम्ये स्थितं मनः निर्दोषं हि समं ब्रह्म तस्मात् ब्रह्मणि ते स्थिताः.
Chapter 5, verse 19. The cycle of birth and death, samsara, is run over here itself in this life by those whose mind is rooted in that which is the same in everything, that is in Brahman. Since Brahman, that is free from any defect, is always the same, they, the wise people, abide in Brahman. That's the translation.
Here is a profound sloka, not like the previous one. Ihaiva taihi jidaga sargo tesham samye sidam manaha. This is possible now when immediately it is possible. Because why? Provided your mind is pure. When the light is there, when the intention is there, if you want to see the light, if it is not too much flash, you can see it. So that is, at once it is possible, provided the room is clear and no smoke, no this thing, no fog. So that is what it is possible now and then. This is because Atma is a permanent thing. This cannot happen in future. What? The revelation of Atma. A permanent thing cannot happen tomorrow. A permanent thing cannot happen after 10 years. This is what the difference between Advaita and all other philosophies. See, when you ask any philosopher, any religious person also, freedom, moksha, the freeness, release from bondage. Is it a permanent one or a temporary one? All the religious people will tell it is eternal, it is permanent. Otherwise, there is no point of getting the freedom. So, all the religions, philosophies will agree freedom, moksha, and mukta. Mukti is permanent. Now, the Advaita asks a question. Can a permanent thing will be available after 10 years only? Or even tomorrow? Permanent thing should be always there. It is the absolute meaning of permanent, not permanent job and everything. So, permanent thing has to be there. But why mukti is not there for all? Is only one reason is possible. They don't know which is already there. They don't know which is already there. So, teaching is required to introduce yourself to introduce you to yourself. That's what this teaching. It is not a description. It's an introduction we already discussed, no? Description means, no, if a person is, I'm accompanying my friend, I will not tell, yeah, he is my friend, he is FT, he is stout, or he is dark, he is having this kind. We will not tell, it's obvious. We will tell he is a nice person, helpful person, he is expert in mathematics. That subtle thing which is not visible. You can say nature. Same thing here also, through the Vedantic words, you are introduced to yourself by telling the real nature. So that real nature is permanent. That permanent cannot happen in the future. But why it is not known? It is not known because of the impurities in the mind, and also intention, and also your priorities, and also the prominent thing and improminent thing you have to differentiate because of discrimination. Because of with this discrimination you should develop dispassion. All these things, the qualification is required. So permanent thing and experiencing you have to understand. All that experiencing, all that you are experiencing may not be true. All that the truth you are not experiencing. We have discussed with sufficient example in our Vedanta class. That is, sunrise is experiencing, you are experiencing, but it is not true. Earth is rotating. Then you are moving at the 500 meters per second. You are not feeling. Truth is moving, you are not feeling. The false is sunrise, but that is not true. So here you cannot connect the experience with the truth. Experience may go with democracy, but truth is not democracy. Understand the truth and be a democratic. That is the beauty. Understand and be along with others, so you can have both benefits. When you are along with others, you can get the transactional benefit also. When you understand the truth and accept, you can get the absolute benefit also. So all these things are possible in this birth or ihaiva taihi jidaga sargo. And you can disconnect the birth, death, birth cycle. That's also taught in this sloka. You can come out of that cycle only and only with the self-knowledge, because of renouncing the doership, kartritva. That will be there, discussed in one more sloka in this one. The nucleus will not be there. So the karma will not be sticking to the nucleus, because he will be negating the jiva soul. So those things may come in one more sloka. So we will proceed, because this one sloka is a very profound sloka. Everything is discussed. Because we are going to discuss many other sloka, we can stop this with this understanding. We will go to the 19th hour.
Yeah, 20th.
Huh?
Next is 20th.
20th we already covered. That is the India's here. That is all preparatory technique we have covered. Like that, one more we covered. That is Atyantavandaka. Means all the materialistic pleasures will come and go. So that 20 and 22 we will not. You have put it in the recording.
Yeah.
Then recording means just you can listen. 20th we already covered. You will come to know in one of the first 6 classes. So anyway, she has recorded. We will just will not discuss 20th. Then 20th, 21 combined. 21 we can.
Chapter 5, verse 20. The one who knows Brahman, who is established in Brahman, whose knowledge is firm, and who is free from delusion, would not rejoice over gaining that which is desirable, nor would he resent gaining that which is not likable. That's the translation.
Yeah.
Samshayamashnude.
Chapter 5, verse 21. The one whose mind is not attached to the external sense objects gains limited happiness in oneself, whereas if his mind is endowed with the knowledge of Brahman, he gains that happiness that does not wane. That's the translation.
Here that na prarshiyat priyam prapya nodviyat prapyata priyam, that we already discussed, that we should not get excited by very pleasant things, and we should not get depressed or frustrated by unexpected things. That is in the mind control it came. So we will not discuss. The next one is Bhagyaspaste Asaktatma Vindadi Atmani Yatsava. That is
Yehi samsparshaja bhoga.
Bhagyaspaste we have to discuss. Here external things should be kept external. That is what the understanding. Here what is happening? We internalize the external things. Now, the external things means not only in sense perception, sound, sight and in mind also. Unless otherwise, without your support, the external things cannot stay. That is what the fact when the mind is pure. The impure mind always will be infested with external things. That is why people tell how to avoid thought, how to avoid thought, how to avoid thought. They are only preparation karma yoga. Preparation karma yoga. It is 100% required for all this discussion. When the mind has got some purity and maturity, you can keep the external thing external. Dispassion. Why you have to keep all your full family in your head when they are not nearby? I was telling my wife when she was going to office, when you cross the boundary wall, forget about me. Otherwise, how she will work in the bank? So at least you leave your family when you are not nearby to their own prarabdha, and it is under the purview of the God. So this is very important. You can pray for their welfare, but you need not keep them in your head. When you are keeping your family in your head, you cannot do what is to be done in the particular moment. Pray God for their welfare, pray God to change their mind, all these things you can do. But don't keep them. This I am telling about the people. But when it comes to sense object, that is more easier. If you have the qualification. If you have the qualification, always in your head 2-3 things should be there. One is qualification, 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 including karma yoga. Then another is Atma is a higher reality. These two things, if it is not in the even anybody is, if they awake you in the midnight, then also these two things should be there. Without qualification, you cannot understand Atma Jnana. And without knowing that Atma is of higher reality, no benefit will be there. Higher reality examples, lot of examples we have discussed. So here, then the question comes here. If I don't internalize, how will I get happiness? Any good news, I have to internalize. Any legitimate things, I can have, buy and enjoy. I have to use it, I have to experience. So this is what a debate. How will I have happiness if I don't internalize? If I keep the external things external? That is why that only the happiness analysis comes. It is there in the Vedanta class, happiness analysis in for level 1 and advanced happiness analysis. The level 1 itself, we are telling your own reflection is only reflecting in your mind when the mind is having 3 qualifications. That is Nishkala, Nischala and comma. No desire, no movement, no impurities. When the mind is like that, you are reflecting your own happiness. So here only relative happiness and permanent absolute happiness comes. So here we are not discussing the absolute happiness. We are discussing the relative happiness. Now precious priyam prapya, the previous one, and this one bhagya spalseshu asatma. Here, because we have been postponing one thing for some time, and also about happiness analysis, that is in Taittiriya Upanishad, Brahmananda Valli, Ananda Mimamsa. There it is discussed elaborately, the happiness analysis in Taittiriya Upanishad in a very, very quantified manner and known to the unknown. It is compared from whatever you know, whatever is known to you, whatever you want to be, all the things. To the unknown happiness, they are comparing the Bimbananda, the Pratibimbananda, that is the reflected happiness, because that is what you want. You want means what? The transaction reality. Your ultimate goal is to understand yourself, that is absolute happiness, that is fullness, but that can happen provided your qualification and also the priority and everything, but it won't be any loss. You will be pick up the thread if you don't get it in this birth and the next birth. So here the Pratibimba Ananda is discussed. How much happiness you will get cognitively, you can have an imagination. Saisha Anandasya Mimamsa Bhavati Yuvasya Sadhuva Dhyayakaha Asishto Dridishto Balishtaka Tasya Yayam Pradivi Sarva Vittasya Purnasya Sa Eko Manusha Anandaha. Taittiriya Brahmananda Valli towards the end. Here what is told is that suppose you want to understand the quantity and the quality of happiness which you will get from self-knowledge. How the sweetness will be there, you cannot explain in words. You have to eat a sweet or fresh sugar or sweet thing. So like that, here examples are given, and through the examples you can try to cognitively understand the happiness of a wise person. For that, the starting point is, suppose there is a person who is the most knowledgeable person. Knowledgeable means not self-knowledge. You can have the CEO of all the leading 10 companies, Apple or Microsoft, Google, like that. That's what transactional. You want to know how much happiness Atmajnani will have from the point of known thing. You will be taught or you will be shown the unknown happiness. Then it may motivate you to proceed in the pursuit. Means a person who is having all kind of, that is legitimate knowledge, highest knowledgeable person, technically knowledgeable, technically high knowledge. Before that, noble also. Okay, here we are discussing only noble people, noble qualities. A person, noble person who is having the highest technical knowledge and the best of health. Boxing heavyweight champion or something. Just telling you, supposed to be, but it may not be mostly. They are the momentary. Few years they are the strongest person. After that, we have seen Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay, and everything. So now the thing is that the most knowledgeable, healthy, noble, and the richest person. So in all aspects, the superlative degree in the knowledge, wealth, nobility, along with power also, highly powerful. In everything superlative. You cannot have one person in the world now, even if you want to imagine. they only tell the American president is the most powerful person. May not be. 100% now we are seeing a lot of things. They claim themselves. So that is one unit of the transactional happiness. The person, the Manushya, the human being, who is the highest knowledgeable, highest powerful, wealthiest, and noble and healthiest. That is one unit. That is Manusha Ananda. Then there are 10 stages. Whatever I remember, I will tell you. Otherwise, I think she has noted down. 100 times of this will be Manushya Gandharva Ananda. That is Manushya Ananda to Manushya Gandharva Ananda. So, how it will come? That is the question. It is there in the MMT also, blog also. Srotriyasya cha kamavatasya. If you listen to Vedanta teaching and if you do mentally as per the Vedanta teaching, not only listening, you have to mentally, you have to do it, mentally doing. What is mentally doing? We have shared the examples in the class, MMT class. I will tell again because long time we have not met and some new students may be there, like seniors. Now, see, for example, you want a 3-bedroom house or you want a Mercedes-Benz car, some high-fi thing you just have thing. That is your goal. That is a car or no, SUV or Benz. Rolls-Royce may not be Benz. That's your goal. So you work for that, you accumulate the minimum required, means for loan, no, there is a margin is there and your ability is there, your salary ability, and you are accumulating the minimum amount to be deposited, then you are getting a loan, you are booking a car, and it may take a few months or few years for getting that car, and you are going to the showroom, you are selecting the car, and you are given the key of the car, and you are sitting in the car. That moment, the desire of having a Benz car will go away. Once you get the item in your hand, immediately that desire will go away because already got it. How the desire will be there? This is what you have to understand. Once you get the item, the desire of that item goes away. Then afterwards experiencing it or tackling the problems or all the things, this is a different thing. This is applicable to the house or whatever may be. Once the ambition of having a thing will be there, then once you get that thing,
You are able to hear?
disconnected because
I think net some problem.
Sorry, dear.
She's gone.
Anybody can unmute and respond. Are you able to hear me?
Advanced only. Join? Yeah. Connecting. Yeah, it's connected.
Are you able to hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes. You can respond. Then after what you were now audible, but after what you up to which point you were able to listen?
Not miss much. Just
Yeah, but
car.
now after that only up to which point? Because I have told important one thing. I will slightly go back and tell again the same thing because it's a very important thing. Then one thing you can take example. Then yeah, now you can I think mute and I will continue from that. You can mute now. Yeah. See now that your goal of getting a Benz car, and you have done everything, and you got the key in your hand, and just you have sat inside the car. The moment that happens, your desire will go away of getting the car. You may be doing interiors, but the desire of getting a Benz car will go away once you get it and sit it and start. The desire will not remain. The other things will happen. You have to go and show to the car, to people, friends and everything, making the interior, all the things. But the desire of getting a Benz car will not be there, because once you got the car in your hand and you have sorted it or yourself. So this logic you have to understand. Using this logic, there is a teaching in Vedanta. What is that? See, for example, you want same thing will have it, because then there won't be confusion. You want to have a Benz car, but you cannot have it because of some reason. Any reason. Financial is one of the important reasons. The most important reason is finance. Driving also you can learn and everything. So that is the reason. Definitely you cannot get it, but you want it. Vedanta is telling what you have to do. A very interesting thing. Vedanta is telling, that is when if it is saying discussion is tell, please tell me others are
Yeah.
clear. So Vedanta is telling, when you want an item and if you cannot get it, you do this thing, you can have the happiness of having it. What you have to do? You have to listen to Vedanta. That is what it is told in the Taittiriya. Strotrasya cha akamagatasya. Strotrasya cha means you have to listen, understand, and do as per the Vedanta teaching akamagatasya. What it is asking you to do? It is telling you intellectually accept the teaching. These are all normal only. It is not a kind of higher reality and everything. And you have to declare using the buddhi, you have to educate your mind. It is kind of self-affirmation, positive affirmation only, nothing great. Just you have to do. You have to use the buddhi and tell to your mind. Means you have to tell to yourself, I don't want Benz car. I don't want Benz. Like that, 2-3 times you educate your mind using your buddhi. It is definitely possible, definitely possible, definitely possible, because I did it when I was found sugar. For 55 years I was 55, not 55, no, 60 years I think. I was so fond of sweet, so fond of sweet. Even for breakfast, for all the breakfast item I used to have sugar. Anything, any breakfast item other than some pulao or pongal. For dosha, vada, idli, chapati, puri, anything I will have sugar. Similarly, I will have sweetness in other things and everything in the milk. But I was found high sugar. The moment the result came, I educated my mind using buddhi, because I was already in spiritual. What I educated? Hereafter, sugar is poisonous to me. If this education is difficult, you can foresee the consequences of having high sugar. Gangrene and amputation. But that is a little crude one, but education is the best thing. When you educate, mind will agree. The moment I educated, within few minutes, I lost the craveness of the sweet. So that is what Veda is teaching you. You have to do the positive affirmation. I don't want that item. I don't want. Clearly to yourself. You need not shout. Firmly in the mind you can tell buddhi to the mind. Means what? Intellectual function should tell to the emotional function. Intellectual function should tell to the emotional function of the mind and the karma itself. This will give you the happiness of having the item. This may work out with the person also. May youngsters can try. if you are if your boyfriend, all these things, you can try because it works 100% with me. It worked out in a suite, and it is telling about the possessing the item. So this is the base of the happiness analysis of the Taittiriya Upanishads, Ananda Mimamsa. What it is telling, when this logic holds good, that if I declare I don't want one item, then it will give the happiness of having that item. So what the trick the sannyasis do, no? They declare, I don't want anything from the world. I don't want anything from the world. Like that few times. This will give the happiness of having everything in the world. This is the beauty. This is the truth. If you are sincere, if your mind is pure, it happens. That's all. Not will happen, it happens. It happened to me, it happens. This happiness analysis is based on this. Tasya ekam tadvi sarva vittasya purnasyat. Sa eko manushananda. So if you declare yourself that I don't want anything from the world, then only the next Loka Ananda will be there. That is Manushya Gandharva Ananda. Similarly, there are 10 steps. That's what Ananda Mimamsa tells to make you know what is Brahmananda. So it is, I asked how many trillions of, this is 1 followed by 20 zeros is, how many, what is the way to express it?
100 million trillions.
Thank you. 100 million trillion. Vivek is here today. 100 million trillion. Okay, that is 1000 million is 1 trillion. That's what I was taught in that calculation. Okay, 100 million trillion times of what? 100 million trillion times of the strongest, wisest, richest, most powerful person in the world. That is what Brahmananda. This is possible. Then why not Bhagyasparseshva Saktatma? What the things in that? Why you have to internalize the external thing? When this is available with you, the external thing, let it be external only. Don't internalize. That is what here I want to tell about Ananda Mimamsa, Taittiriya Upanishad and Bhagavani Upanishad is taught. In Taittiriya it is quantified. Okay, this is sufficient, and we will go to the next sloka.
1 minute to 9.
Huh?
1 minute to 9.
1 minute to 9. So half of this only we have covered. The next sloka, 22nd, already discussed. Indriyasya Indriyasate Ragat Dvesha Vyavastito Tayor Nasamagachet Tau Yasya Parivandina. They already discussed, so that will not be there. Second. Then if you are ending now, we will start from 23rd onwards in the next class. 23rd to 26th. Then I have to cover 8, 9 and 13. Then we have to end 27, 28 and 29. That is the sequence of finishing the 5th chapter. I think it's today because of Ananda Mimamsa. It went ever like anything, I think. We have not even covered all, we have covered only half of what I planned. So it is a good thing. Ananda, you can also refer Taittiriya Upanishad, Brahmanandavali towards the end. Ananda Mimamsa, happiness analysis. Beautiful thing. So that is a good thing we have covered. And now it is nearly 9 o'clock. We will end the session.
ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ